I think gray.
Okay.
Dig. I see the green. I see the green.
People who've been relic hunting for many years tend to take what other relic hunters say with a grain of salt, and I can't say I blame them. Some people say that relic hunters and fishermen are the two biggest liars that ever lived. But you can take my word for it, I'm being straight with you. Today, I'm hunting on one of the bloodiest pieces of ground of the entire Civil War. I'm in Cold Harbor, and you don't have to look far to find trenches like the one I'm sitting on. This is where the New York heavies were pressed into service as infantry during the Battle of Cold Harbor, and there were thousands of dead within the first 30 minutes of the battle. Of course, this place has been heavily hunted over the years, and I've hunted here before, but every time I come, I manage to find a little something that was missed by the guys before me. So we're gonna go in low and slow with a deep coil and see if we can find evidence of the incredible slaughter that happened here. From one of the fiercest battlefields of the Civil War, I'm the battlefield walker. I just turned the machine on, stepped into the edge of the woods and climbed on top of this trench. If this is a Civil War target, then that's going to be a good sign for me. Right smack in the top of this trench. Still in the hole, but it is so cool. You're in this kind of sand, and you're into the dirt that was last moved by soldiers during the Civil War. Right down in the bottom, we have a buck from a Confederate bucking ball. I say Confederate bucking ball because the Confederate trench is behind me, but this is a Union trench. There's a bucking ball. I assume it's Confederate. Hey, there's something from the Civil War there. There could be more. Yeah. I think that's a Civil War bullet. I don't think it's deep. Whatever it is. There it is. Look at that. And still here all these years later. Definitely a Civil War 3-ringer. There's a rifle pit right over there. This sounds promising. Yeah, this too has that sound, that distinctive sound of a Civil War bullet. Oh, look there. Look there. We haven't moved 25 feet since we've been here, so. And I'm on top of the trench right here. And I've got a very weak signal. Boy, it's super, super weak. We've got a Civil War percussion cap. Soldier had his hands on that last when he placed it on the nipple of his musket and tried to stay alive. Okay, here's another percussion cap. Cold Harbor was one of the places that was first really hunted hard. Number one, it was the site of 2 Civil War battles. Some of the same trenches were even reused. You had Gaines Mill in 1862 and the Battle of Cold Harbor in 1864. I was born and raised here, so I just love hunting here, even though there's not a lot left. But it's amazing to me that 160 years later, there's still evidence of the soldiers on the ground here. Okay, I think we got a chance of a decent little target here. It's weak. I'm thinking it's deep. Like I said, it's not strong, but it's not bad. Oh, look at that sand, that Cold Harbor sand. This is why I love Cold Harbor. Okay, I feel it, whatever it is. There's another one. 69 caliber round ball. The top of this trench. Laying here a long time waiting for me to come along and pull it out of the ground. Okay, we got more in this hole. That makes me happy. Probably just going to be $3 down in there. Probably a dropped bucking ball. Okay, there it is. All right, so that bucking ball load was dropped. All right, there's one of them. So we got the ball and $2. Okay, now that's definitely a percussion cap. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that was literally a 1/4 of an inch in the ground. I got a signal here. It's right there. I can see that it's a percussion cap. To think that items from the Civil War are laying on top of the ground. Whew. There was some ferocious fighting going on in these trenches right here. This sounds like this could be a bullet here. There it is. Look right there. See it? Oh, very highly impacted bullet. I'm sure that hit a log or a log on a trench or the trench itself. A lot of people want to find dropped bullets and they're kind of disappointed when they're mangled like that. Heck no, this bullet's got a story to tell. This thing was fired in the intense heat of battle. But this definitely sounds like a bullet that is close to the surface. Yeah, I can hear it with my pinpointer. Oh, look at that with my fingers. Another 3-ringer. Another high impact bullet. All right, I'm down in the swamp now. The roots are horrible. Where you start second guessing yourself. If there's something good down there, I don't want to give up on it. Okay, there it is. Oh, where are you? Come on out of there. What are you? High impact bullet. All right, there's a bullet right there. I don't think this is going to be worth it. It's like digging through a deck. It's awful down here. We got a good signal. I think it's a bullet. We'll get it. Yeah, feel it. There it is. 3-ringer out of the swamp. All right, I'm passing up some bullet signals because it's just too difficult to dig. I think I feel it now. Yeah, there it is. Here's another swamp 3-ringer. One of the top, most fierce battles fought in the state of Virginia. Thousands killed and a whole bunch of them right here. This is the swamp that they had to cross over and then charge that way up the hill straight into a Confederate trench. It was brutal. Lee was such a big proponent of earthworks. Grant had more men than Lee by a long shot, and so he figured that he could keep sending his troops into the fortified breastworks. Lee would have to run out of men before Grant did. But my gosh, what a sacrifice. So many died. That's what's left of a fired bullet. I have to be in a real dedicated mood to hunt this swamp. Oh, I'm stuck. Come on out of there. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. I gotta try to get that boot out. I can get my foot out, but I don't want to leave my boot down here in the swamp. There it is. Okay, that sounds like a bullet signal. Look at this, look. It's just pure wood. It ain't dirt, it's wood. You know what? 20 years from now, and the young relic hunters will be willing to dig through this stuff and bring chainsaws and backhoes down here to get one bullet. I'm gonna leave this one for you guys. You seriously can't walk down in this swamp without hearing bullet signals almost every step. Whew. Wearing an old man out. As we expected, another fired Civil War bullet. How nice. Right there. Okay, come on out of there. That's a 69 caliber round ball. It's a big signal, which either means it's close to the surface or it's a big target. And my curiosity's got me, I gotta know. Sounds more like a bullet now. There she is. Alright. I will say this, Bob Gorbenko, you know exactly where I am. Bob, you're one of the few Canadians that's ever hunted Cold Harbor. There's a nice aluminum can. It's sure no problem finding Civil War targets to dig, but the problem is digging them and all of this stuff. I mean, they're in here, no question about that. Oh, come on out of there. I'm hung on something. I feel it. Come on out of there. Maybe an infield, maybe a swamp eating up three-ringer. It's hard to imagine this swampy patch of quiet woods being a vicious battlefield. But this place was murderous. And the bullets are still in here everywhere. I grew up a mile from here, and I knew the old man who owned it when I was a child. He was known to cook some liquids. Yeah, he was a cooker, all right. So I'm in the Confederate trench lines now. These were bulldozed years ago. For 100 years it was used as dumping grounds. They were ready-made trash dumps. Right there, and I feel something right there. Oh, that looks white. I do believe that's a bullet. There's a bullet right there. There he is. What in the world is holding me up? Right there, you see that white? Right there? Fired and heavily impacted. I gotta see what that is. I can't just leave it. So did the cannon limbers and the medical ambulances, sutler's wagon, did they have to have license plates in the Civil War? And this place has been hunted so much, I'm going to be real surprised if this is a bullet. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That thing wasn't 5 inches in the ground. And this place has been hunted to death. Look at that. There's a fired three-ringer. 4 feet away from that bullet, I got another signal. You ain't gonna believe it. How did these bullets escape all the relic hunters that have been in here since 1970? Alright, it's not deep. How were these bullets missed? But son of a gun. Well, if the last hunt was a hunt of serendipity, this has been a hunt of the unexpected. It occurred to me while I was down in that swamp digging bullets that this particular spot in Cold Harbor is really the only place I personally have to relic hunt where I know I can go there and dig all the Civil War bullets I want. The problem is it's awfully hard hunting down in that swamp. So I don't necessarily want to chop through 6 inches of roots, but I know that they're there. I've heard estimates that 10 to 11,000 men were killed. 10,000 people seems to be an unbelievable number. But if you're talking about 108,000 Union troops clashing against 59,000 Confederate troops, a loss of 10,000 becomes very believable. Most of the mangled bullets out of the swamp were Confederate bullets, either Gardners or Enfields. I did find a Merrill carbine bullet, and one of the Enfield bullets had the boxwood plug still in the back. And the nicest surprise, I've never found a US-based 3-ring mini ball. I think they're pretty scarce. I had never found one. A viewer asked me in the comments under one of my recent videos, he said, sometime could you tell us about the pistol in your relic room and identify it for us? Well, I guess he's talking about this one of only 2 I have in here. And I would love to identify it for you now, but I can't identify it. I don't know who made it. I'm sure it's a foreign-made pistol. There are no identifying markings on it. But it is kind of interesting. It is a double-barreled pinfire. It's in rough shape. The grips are missing a good bit of wood. There's no maker's marks on it. There's some stamping in the side to try to make it a little bit more decorative. But it does have some interesting features on it. First of all, these 2 little spring-loaded clips, when you cock the hammer back, they slide forward. What they're there for is when the pistol is loaded, the hammer should rest on those 2 little spring-loaded clips, and that way the hammer can't fall enough to make the pinfire bullet fire. When you want to fire, you simply cock both hammers, and the little safeties spring forward out of the way, and now you're ready to fire. Like a double-barrel shotgun, it has 2 individual triggers that will release the hammers. And to load and reload, you simply put the hammers at half cock. There's a lever in front of the action that swings to the side, and the gun opens up. The pin drove down through the powder charge into the percussion cap, which set off the main charge. And they worked reasonably well. I think this might have been one of my dad's. But that's the little pistol that you asked me about. It's a double-barrel pin-fire, and that's Civil War era, and no way to know whether it was a Civil War pistol or not. Everything's getting grown over, and the woods are getting thick with briars and underbrush, not to mention the fact that won't be long before it'll be pretty hot for an old guy to hunt. I'm also hoping later on in the summer to put together a string of videos showcasing I call them the hidden Central Virginia Civil War collections. Those old relic hunters that have rooms full of relics, but they've been hesitant to show them. So they haven't been published, they've never been featured. We'll see how that goes. If you haven't subscribed to the Battlefield Walker channel, I hope you will, and I hope I'll see you again relic hunting pretty soon. Until then, I'm the Battlefield Walker. You be good and say your prayers.